Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy. Wanting to talk about structure and balance. I've come to find that there's quite a few people that aren't sure how to delegate their day. They aren't really aware of what is more important than the other. And people have been asking me, how do I structure my day? What do I consider to be important, and what do I consider to be something to place on the back burner? And I told them that they need to, sadly, I hate this when my sister tells me it, but go within. That you have all the answers. But sometimes your ego clouds your intuition or is so loud that you can't hear it. And your intuition has more discernment within your being to be able to help you navigate through your path of life. So, for me, what I do is I look at the broad spectrum. Now, everything that comes across my mind that I'm going to have to take care of on a daily basis, as well as implement time for projects or creative sparks or, whatever, right? Your situation is different than my situation, which is different from someone else's situation, because we all live individual lives, right? Although we come together as collective and as groups, typically groups don't evolve at the same time doing the same thing. It's a stepping series that everyone needs to take when they're ready. So, in any event, I have a lot of things that are on my plate every single day. And I need to make sure that I spend enough time to each one of those issues or pieces on my plate. So, every day I start with getting up and looking out the window and seeing all the white lights that are dancing around the atmosphere that the sun catches, that I'm able to see quite clearly. And I see them all day long until the sun goes down. And sometimes I see them even when the sun goes down. And then I pay closer attention because they might be trying to tell me something. Because they've been invisible, I should say, to me at night, but visible during the day. So after I say hello and, tell whether it's my spirit team or fairies, or I actually see charges flying around the air in the energy field, I still feel very much in tune with, and I feel a great amount of love from. So it's like I'm just clouded, with love all day long, and even at night. And it's coming from my spirit team or my fairy family or angels, or I'm not quite sure what they are, but I know that they love me. So that's good enough for me right now. And then I, go to the bathroom and splash some water on my face and, straighten out my body, because although I can get right up out of bed, I am just a little bit bent, like a little bit hunched, and my knees are a little bit bent. So I spend at least 10 or 15 minutes straightening myself out and standing and, whatever. And then, I'll smoke a cigarette because it's exhausting, to be honest with you. And I just reset myself, and then I take a shower. And some days I could stand in the shower, and other days I don't. And I don't have a bar in the shower to hold on to against the wall. So it makes it difficult. Walls could be slippery and slidey when you're wet. And I've fallen enough in my life. I try really hard not to fall in bad places like the bathtub. Although that has happened. I won't lie. But you know what? I bowled myself out most days and do that routine all over again to stand up straight and strengthen myself out, and I do it all over again. So after I take a shower and I get dressed and I take care of my face and my hair and get myself presented for the day, I always make my bed before I leave my room. As far as I'm concerned, an unmade bed, it starts the day off horribly. And I would like to start the day off every day with love, light, and positivity. So I make my bed, and usually I have to tell my dogs to get off of it because, they just want to lay all over and they pull my blankets and stuff, and it really is annoying. But, it just, I pivot and turn and change my sheets as often as I can. Usually it's like every time they rip my bed apart. But, that's just an added thing that my animals give me to keep me on my toes. So after I do all that, then I go downstairs. Usually my cat is tripping me, walking in circles around me because, it's been 7 or 8 hours since the cat ate, and he wants more food. So he'll bother me as I navigate from the upstairs to the downstairs and, until I feed him. And then as soon as I feed him, he leaves me alone. And then I have to take care of the dogs. So then the dogs get taken care of. And usually, I give them medicine if they need medicine. And then I bring them out. And I leave them out there and then continue to finish, whatever I didn't do with me. Make, a video that the divine encourages me with the right things to say, because the divine knows who needs to hear what message. And then I go about my day and I clean my house, I do my yard, I continue working on my balance and my stamina, and I exercise with all movements that I make all throughout the day and all throughout the night. I incorporate that in everything that I do, whether I'm raising my arms and I'm stretching out, or it's my legs and I'm trying to get, more of me back, And then I also write stories for little kids, and I'm finishing the memoir that I'm writing about me. And then I help people in between, because they come to me and they say whatever their need is or whatever their sorrow is, or they don't say anything, and I read their energy and then I help them through their difficulty. And usually when they don't say anything, it's because they're ashamed or embarrassed, of how they feel. And right off the bat, I let them know that they should not be ashamed or embarrassed, because life is a lesson. It's a series of lessons, a series of trials, tribulations that offers triumphs and accomplishments along the way. It's just, how do you navigate your path? And sometimes people say, oh my God, you do way so much in every single day. And I'm like, yeah, but no, because I could always do more, and I don't, because I also incorporate rest into my day, because I will go and do things for an hour or two, and then I'll sit down, or I'll, breathe, or, whatever I need to do in order to keep me flowing in a balanced form. So because I have the ability to see the entire plate of the day and be able to determine how much time should be allotted for each thing in order to fit it in the day, then that helps me stay on a level, even playing field. So when other things come in that are added that I wasn't aware of, because diversity happens all the time, and that's when other things pop up or pop in, right? I handle them. If immediate attention is needed, immediately. And then I go back to what it was that I was doing. And if I cut into too much of that time, then I adjust time throughout my other projects throughout the day in order to make sure that I'm on track, that I don't miss something, that I don't overdo something, that I don't take for granted something. Because what I have learned is life is a gift. And how you treat your gift is what will carry you through your days. So if you treat life like a gift and you handle it with care, and it's an important gift, then you will handle it with care. If you don't think life is an important gift, then you're seriously hurt, and we need to talk. Because life really is a gift. Because every day we take for granted that we are going to open our eyes in the morning after we fall asleep the night before. We also take for granted that our heart is going to beat and that our lungs are going to fill up and contract as it brings air in to nourish our internal universe. So, with that said, you need to incorporate breathing routines, proper eating habits, and drink lots and lots of clean water. Because your body is 90% water, and sometimes people forget about that. And although some water doesn't have all the electrolytes in it, you don't need to drink the electrolytes every single day. But most definitely, if you feel that you're out in the sun or if you're dehydrating a lot, then by all means replace them. Incorporate that into your diet as well. Because what you want to do is you want to stay healthy on the inside and on the outside. And with me, I always tried my hardest to be as healthy as I knew how. Didn't always work, because stress could put a big dent in that. So you might want to try to keep your mind in a space as long as possible throughout every day that is very calm and peaceful and loving. And breathing techniques can help with that. If you find yourself apprehensive or anxiety filled, I tend not to have those feelings I see other people do. And usually I'll tell them to stop and to take a couple deep, long breaths in and deep, long breaths out. And, try to regulate their torrent waters, so to speak. I know I'm being silly. But for whatever reason, I was guided to say that. I was going to say something else, but, that popped into my head. So maybe that actually means something to someone. If it does, reach out and let me know, because I would really like to hear why I'm being given certain messages to give to others. And if you resonate, by all means, please let me know how you're doing. Can't wait to hear. And if you need me, I'm always here. Always. And my journey is all about you. And I want to see you go as far as you possibly can. We have soars. We have heights to soar. We're soaring to better heights. However you want to say it. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes it comes out backwards, but sometimes backwards is what it was supposed to be, because, my brain thinks faster than my mouth can spit out words. Do you have that problem too? In any event, thank you. And I hope that balance and harmony flow easily and effortlessly through all of your endeavors with everything that you do. Blessed be my lovely collective. I love you.